Hello, this is Tim Law with Plain and Forward Coaching and Self-Reliance U. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Plain and Forward Coaching. Very much appreciate if you would do that. Today I have a guest. He and I go back quite a few years. He was one of my wrestlers up there in Hancock, New York, a gentleman named Chris Gross. And I want to say this right now to Andrew, Joe, Nick, Chris, and Sarah, that your dad did have a 7-second pin. You guys seem to deny that or not realize how quick it was. But as in wrestling, the clock ticks down from 2 minutes down, and that clock was at 1:53, which meant that your dad had a 7-second pin. So I want to just throw that myth out to all you guys to realize that he had the quickest pin in Hancock wrestling history. So Chris, take it away. We had to get that out of the way. The elephant in the room.
That's great. I appreciate you mentioning that. That's ancient history to my kids, so.
Oh yeah.
But it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris, for sure. Absolutely.
Yep, I wrestled for you for 6 years, 2 years of junior high.
Yeah.
And 4 years of varsity, and it was a great time.
Yeah, it really was. You guys really worked hard, and it looks like you're keeping yourself in good shape and everything. And definitely was a lot of fun with some of the characters we had in there when you were around. That's for sure.
You can do some of that stuff these days, but we won't talk about that.
No, it's probably good they didn't have the smartphones and things like that with some of the antics that some of the goings-ons that happened. Nothing illegal, but just some crazy stuff. That's for sure.
Good times.
Yes, sir. So tell us about you, Chris.
Well, a little background is I graduated from HCS in 1985. Mm-hmm. Kind of hung around Hancock a little bit, worked a couple different jobs for a year, and then decided, you know what, I want to do something different. I went to college, and I went to SUNY Morrisville a couple of years, got my associate's degree in natural resources conservation.
Okay.
And then went out into the world and took a job as a forester for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And that really, I spent a lot of time in the woods, kind of lonely. I wanted to deal with people more so, and I wanted to make a little more money. So I made a phone call to a local real estate guy and jumped in. Got my real estate license, and that was 1991.
Okay.
Worked there. Then in 97, I ventured out on my own and started Upper Delaware Real Estate. And so I still run that today. I have 10 full-time and part-time people that work for me.
Wow.
And a couple of offices, one in Hancock, one in Downsville. Mm-hmm. And going well.
Mm-hmm. Good. I didn't realize you'd gone to Morrisville, because when you were up there, and ironically, my brother Steve was there as an instructor for the automotive department up there. And actually he knew, because he was helping to coach softball at the time, he actually knew one of your sisters that had gone up there.
Okay.
Yeah. Small
I
world.
didn't know that. Yeah. But I did have as a professor Mr. Homer's brother.
Okay.
So if you remember Gene Homer.
Oh yeah, I remember Gene. Sure, good guy.
I had his brother, and so that was a good Hancock contact.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So Chris, I've always liked to go back to where the different sports background that people had, and how let's say in this case you're wrestling, okay? Because the one thing I've said on some of my other interviews with people is that as tough as this COVID thing has been, and it has been, that people that have been involved with sports or band or music extracurricular, the school plays, some kind of activities, I think it's almost like we have a suit of armor of a little extra protection on us, as being able to roll with the punches with this, the punches we've taken as far as COVID is concerned. What life lessons and things that you pick up as far as being on the wrestling team?
Well, I'll tell you, the ability to deal with people and deal with other people, and to get along in the context of a team. Mm-hmm. I mean, wrestling's an individual sport, but you're still on a team. And so you have to get along with people in the world, and any sport will do that for you, the team concept. Mm-hmm. and how to succeed in that respect. But also wrestling, I'll tell you, is probably one of the most difficult sports in the world. Mm-hmm. And it is you out there on the mat. And if you succeed, that's that you can take those accolades. If you fail, it's all on you.
Mm-hmm.
And so same, kind of like being self-employed, I guess.
Sure.
If you don't do well, you can't blame anybody but yourself usually.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and ironically, as I refer to my program as Playing It Forward Coaching, and then Self-Reliance You. I'm a big believer in people, being self-reliant, and and I think that sport teaches it. And then when you put in the cutting weight along with it, along with the hard training, I mean, I think you're absolutely correct. It is one of the most challenging sports out there for sure. And that's what separates a lot of people, having to cut the weight like that. Tell us about your family a little bit, Chris, as far as, their activities. I know we've talked a little bit about that, and, kind of let me know, let us know what they're doing.
Well, my family, I mean, first my life revolves around God,
Mm-hmm.
and then family.
Okay, great.
And then work and anything else like a hobby. But, we all go to mass every Sunday. We try to and stick together, and
Mm-hmm.
it gives us a good foundation. But my wife, Danielle, she's an HCS graduate.
Mm-hmm.
You may remember her.
Oh, yeah. I remember Danielle real well. She and her sister. Wonderful, yep. Wonderful young ladies.
Fantastic. And I obviously couldn't have done what I've done without her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's great. But we have 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the oldest, Andrew, 22, he graduated college,
mm-hmm.
2-year degree, and he's a dirt bike racer.
I thought so. Yeah. I know. Yeah. He's really into it. Yeah.
So when you have your first child, you really think, especially if it's a boy, you think this is going to be my baseball player or whatever.
Right.
And he played Little League, and I coached Little League for 16 years. I coached all my kids through Little League.
Right.
And you know what? That wasn't his passion. And that's when I learned about, you can't dictate what other people are going to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He got on a dirt bike one day and he was phenomenal. And that's what he's done for a long time. And the last 2 years he's raced in National Series, and we've gone up and down the East Coast from Florida on up.
Okay.
And we started that 2 years ago, and he finished the year number 50. And last year he finished as number 39 nationally.
Wow.
So
wow. He's the real deal. Yeah. There's some great competition out there.
Yeah. My son, Joe, he currently goes to Houghton College. He's earning a master's degree this year, and he's captain of the baseball team there.
Okay. What's his degree in, Chris?
He has a bachelor's degree, business administration.
Okay.
And his second major was integrated marketing and communications.
Okay.
So he'll finish up with the MBA this year.
Good.
But he also got his real estate license and works here with me on his breaks and in the summertime. That's real enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's like working with one of your kids.
Sure.
Nick, he is currently enrolled in college, and he's in video arts major. But he, even as early as a couple of years ago, he has had work as a cameraman for the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, which is the Mets AA affiliate.
Wow.
And Binghamton Devils. And he's been a drone pilot for Racer TV, and some of his work has appeared on the shows on NBC Sports. So
cool. Let me just hold you right there with him. Make sure you check out the interview I did with a guy named Alex Raymond. Okay, he's a son of one of our teachers here. He's very much into videography. He's actually stepped out to start his own business, and he's got a great list of resources, which would be right up your son's alley as far as different books that have really helped him. So his name is Alex Raymond. So when you view this later on, make sure you look up Alex, and because these two guys, it would be great if they, just brainstorm with each other, if they can make that connection,
We'll definitely check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good tip. My son, Chris, he's 16, and he currently plays basketball and baseball. We're a little bound up with the COVID with the sports now. You don't get a good season, but he plays travel ball, and we travel around in the summertime to different states with the team and have a good time there. Makes a good bond.
Sure.
And then Sarah, we
your wife finally got a girl. Yeah.
She got a girl. It's a good thing because we'd have 12 kids probably. No, but Sarah's great. She's 13, and we really haven't found her passion yet, but we'll kind of keep an eye out, see what she likes to do.
Sure, sure. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So it's good, Chris, that you're as you're bringing them up and everything, that you're encouraging them to kind of find their own way. And as I said, once you get into enjoying something like that, it's like they say, you'll never really work another day in your life, if you're into a passion like that, for sure. So with you having some of these teenagers and that kind of thing, besides the idea of kind of finding their own way, kids that are going on, whether they're going on to school or going on to the world of work or military or whatever, what advice would you give, parents or those kids, as far as, their life is concerned?
Participate,
mm-hmm.
Be involved,
mm-hmm.
Pay attention and listen and watch. You can't really, like I said before, you can't dictate what a kid's going to do. You can dictate the fundamentals,
mm-hmm.
okay, like, appropriate behavior, things like that.
Sure.
But kind of keep an eye on what they like to do,
mm-hmm.
and nurture that and help them nurture it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nick, for example, he started with when he was a little boy with an iPod, and he kind of liked to make videos and of different people, and he'd run around taking videos of people, and it kind of saw something, a spark there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd help him out. One year, we bought him a drone, and that was really helped facilitate that passion. So you kind of build on what they like to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and ironically, this Alex Raymond has the same thing with the drone, and he does some of the similar things. Because a drone takes things in a whole different direction, obviously, if you can set it up that way,
Yep.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, and with academics too, you want to keep them. Like with my son Chris, he's probably going to go to college, play baseball, I suspect, and he doesn't really know what he wants to major in, and that's a big thing. That may dictate where he can and can't play, or where he should and shouldn't play.
Right.
And that is what the school offers. So, we're kind of having these little conversations about, what do you think you'd like to do for the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm.
Besides baseball, you gotta have a plan B, right?
Sure.
If the Yankees don't call you up. So that's some of the things. I think you just have to talk a little bit, but listen a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Tell us a little more as far as your business, your Upper Delaware, real estate business, Chris, and who you kind of help out with that, and that kind of thing. Give us a little background on your business.
Well, it's one of those things where I really love to do it, and there's many days where I just can't wait to come into work because of whatever deal we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
The people that you meet, I've met some wonderful people and some lifelong friends from the business. And we sell property to mostly people from downstate New York, like New York City, Long Island, New Jersey.
Yeah, so you'll meet some characters down there, no question.
Oh, you meet some characters, that's for sure. But then some wonderful people and some real, heavy hitters in industry, captains of industry, and
sure.
Real well-known people too. So, but I like it because in our area, and it kind of built on the forestry degree I had, is we saw a lot of vacant land, wooded parcels, wooded properties, recreational.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go out to show property, it's kind of just a walk in the woods, really, sometimes, or walk by the river, and it's real enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure, especially from the frenetic life that they're experiencing down in the city or Long Island or New Jersey. I mean, it is. I mean, Hancock, New York is a beautiful place, and it's a whole different thing for those individuals coming up from the hectic lifestyle of the city to be able to come up to beautiful, calm Hancock, for sure.
What's amazing is I remember back to school, and so many kids would say, oh, I can't wait to graduate and get out of this town. I just, it's a small town. I can't wait. Every day I deal with people, some of the wealthiest people in the Northeast
Sure.
that cannot wait to retire and move here.
Yeah.
And live out their lives here.
Mm-hmm.
And you really hear, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence sometimes.
Yeah. No, I certainly agree with it. That makes a lot of sense, Chris, no doubt. Yeah.
We live in one beautiful area, despite the snow.
Well, and I was further north where I first came from, Rochester, New York. So, and I went to SUNY Oswego. I always called that Buffalo East because you get the lake effect storms in Oswego like they get in Buffalo off of Erie, and it's just, you're right. There's a fair amount of snow. There's no question about it. So York, Pennsylvania, we get some, but certainly not the same lake effect that they get up, up even beyond you. That's for sure. So
yeah, but it's a beautiful area. We get the 4 seasons and all that. So some of the best trout fishing in the country.
Sure.
And it's a nice place.
Absolutely. Any other last thoughts, Chris? I'd like for you to hang on when we get done, when I stop the recording. Any other last thoughts that you'd like to, express here?
Well, I'll tell you, thinking back, one of the things that stick in my mind from wrestling is, do you remember what you had painted above the door of the wrestling room?
I think you mean, you're talking about going down the stairs. Victory goes to those willing to pay the price. That one?
No, before the door when you made a left into the room.
Okay. We'll hustle for you when you hustle for you. Was that it?
PMA, positive mental attitude.
Okay. That one. That was door number 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, that's a big factor in life. I don't care what you apply it to, but, sometimes people don't give you, especially if you come from a small town, they look up at things, and especially kids in school, that, they're doing this, they're doing that. I don't care if it's an athlete or a doctor or whatever. And if you can get the attitude and people can support you and you can do it, there's no reason you can't do it. And keep you thinking in a positive way. That's a huge factor.
Yeah.
And not to get, because you can be your own worst enemy.
Sure.
If you hear a negative message all the time, it's not going to help you succeed.
Right.
A positive mental attitude is very helpful. So the bottom line is surround yourself with people like that. Winners. Look to other people as examples, other successful people. Surround yourself with them. The message that will come back is a positive message, and that will help you in all aspects of life.
Sure. I think you said it really well, Chris. And I'd just like to jump on that because I'm a huge believer in that. And that the saying goes like this: our attitude more than our aptitude will determine our altitude in life. Okay. So the idea that if you've got a good attitude, you are going to attract other, winners into your life, that kind of thing. And as I said, misery loves company. And you see it with a lot of people. If they're just down and out, they're not attracting the type of people, the movers and shakers in their life that can really make a difference. That's for sure. So actually, absolutely applaud your commentary on PMA or positive mental attitude. It's very, very important and excellent point. Love it. Yeah.
And I see all your quotes on the one-liners, two-liners on Facebook. And I like that because I have a bulletin board here next to my desk, and I have a whole bunch that I've saved over the years.
Oh, really?
Maybe a dozen.
That's cool.
And each one applies to something specific. But I do like that because every once in a while you can look over there and it may give you an incentive in a certain situation, because why reinvent the wheel? Right. A lot of times somebody else has already said it better than you can say it. Absolutely.
Couldn't agree more, Chris. Chris, this has been great. Can you give your contact information in case, for anybody that may want to, get a hold of you here?
Sure. I can be reached by email, Chris, CHRIS, at upperdelawarerealty.com. And my phone number, 607-637-5588 at my office.
Very good.
Anybody.
Very good. Well, thank you, Chris. This has been wonderful. Very much appreciate it. Please stick around here. We'll chat for a second afterwards. Okay.
Thanks for having me. It was good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris. It always is. And remember, Chris's children, 7-second pin. Don't forget that. I'm verifying it right here. Okay, without a doubt. Also, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. Again, much appreciated. You get to hear other good people on here, such as my good friend Chris Gross and many others as well. So thanks again, Chris.
Thanks, Coach.